What's happening, folks? Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It's time for the starting 11 prediction for tomorrow's trip to face Livingston away. We're obviously off the back of that game in Seville on Thursday that was really entertaining, I suppose, from a neutral point of view. A bit of a roller coaster, the kind of football we expected when Ange came in. We ended up losing it 4-3, but I think before the game, if he'd have said we were going to score 3 goals with the amount of injuries and players that we had out, you wouldn't have believed it. But as ever, the defensive frailty with Celtic away from home in Europe is never too far away from the surface, and we got to concede 4 goals and we end up losing the game. But we come back to this domestic fixture. It is a massive one for us because we haven't beaten Livingston away since the 26th of March 2006. I tweeted about this today. I know that Livingston weren't in the league for 12 of those last 15 years, but there's no doubt that we have struggled in the games where we've faced them at the Toni Macaroni Arena. It's a small pitch, it's a plastic pitch, and there's something about going there since they've come back into the league that just hasn't suited Celtic. Rodgers' team went there, Lennon's team as well, so it's going to be really interesting to see Postecoglou's Celtic, how they approach this game tomorrow. You'd expect us to approach it the way we've been approaching every game so far this season. And I think the facets of the manager's system are going to be so important tomorrow in terms of the tempo that we play at, the speed of our attack. Those are all going to be massive factors tomorrow because we've got to get in the front foot for the word go and keep the ball in play. Every time we go and play Livingston away, I talk about how often the ball's out of play. It seems like the ball's constantly out for a throw-in, corners, free kicks. They make the game scrappy. It kills time for them, and they're a big physical team. We know that. I know they've changed maybe a little bit under David Martindale. They've actually got off to a really poor start this season. Livingston played 5, haven't won yet. They've only had 1 draw and 4 defeats in there as well. They're currently sitting bottom of the table. It is going to be a tough game for us, but as I say, we've got to just get in the front foot as early as possible, play at pace. That's going to be the big thing tomorrow. Play at pace, try and pin Livingston back, and I'm sure if we can do that and we attack the way we've been attacking for most of this early part of the season, we can get the win that we need. 3 points, an absolute must for us. We've already had 2 league defeats this season. We can't afford to drop any more points. And I think if we get a good performance, we can put to bed this terrible record we've got at Livingston. We'll start with the team then in goals. I expect it to be Joe Hart. He had a couple of good saves the other night, but again, he ends up conceding 4 goals, not helped by how open we were at times in front of him. I think the defending collectively could have been better all night, but there's no doubt that he'll start in goals. Ralston did play it right back on Thursday. He got that 3rd goal. It turned out to be too little too late in terms of rescuing a point for us. I thought defensively he had a couple of lapses on Thursday, Ralston, but I expect him to start this one tomorrow based on the situation that we've got at left back. Carter Vickers and Starfelt, I expect them to play at centre half. Again, when you concede 4 goals, you can't say that the centre halves have covered themselves in glory, but I think Carter Vickers has looked solid. I know he maybe got done for pace once or twice the other night, but you'd expect that against high quality opposition. I think Julian, when he comes back, he's going to bring the pace to that centre half pairing, and it'll be interesting to see if Carter Vickers is going to be ahead of Starfelt. We've spent £4.5 million on Starfelt, and he's getting the nod ahead of Welsh regardless. So be interesting to see what happens when Julian comes back. Left back, I think it will be Juranovic. Put the penalty away the other night. Good striker of the ball. You expect watching Celtic away from home in Europe. We've seen missed penalties a few times over the years, and you're just panicking when a defender steps up to take it, but he did strike it well. I expect him to keep his place at left back. Whether we'll see Scales or when we'll see Scales play, I don't know. Maybe Wraith Rovers next week in the League Cup could be a good opportunity for him to make his debut, but I think Juranovic will keep his place from Thursday. In midfield, I've gone with Sorrow because I don't know if Callum McGregor's fit. I think we're hopeful that he'll be back tomorrow, but I haven't seen any press conference for the manager. Haven't seen any confirmation that McGregor is going to be fit, and if he wasn't fit enough to take any part in Thursday. I'm not sure he's going to be fit enough to start this game. I hope he is, because he's a big player for us, and I think Sorrow can be a liability at times, but I've just went with Sorrow over McCarthy as well, because I don't know if you want to play James McCarthy on this pitch, considering his injury record. So I think it'll be Sorrow. And in front, Vogic and Turnbull, brilliant in the first 25 minutes the other night, but then really did fade. And I think their their lack of a defensive instinct, really, I don't think any of the two of them have got a defensive bone in their body. So that paid for us in the end. I think a couple of times they get caught ahead of the ball. We know that the way we're playing under Postecoglou is very attacking. It's very risky at times, but I think the two of them playing in those midfield positions, we can get caught out against the higher quality opposition, and I think that's what we've seen on Thursday. On the right hand side, I think Lee Labada will come back in, given that I think that was just a 1 day religious holiday that he had. Good to have him back in. I thought Jota the other night was absolutely brilliant. I say brilliant. He was involved in everything we did going forward. He looks really dangerous when he gets on the ball. Got the assist for a Yetis goal, and he just looks a constant threat. I do think he'll go back to the left-hand side, though. Maybe a little bit harsh on Adam Montgomery to drop out, because I thought he did well the other night, Adam Montgomery. Given the circumstances, to be thrown into a game of that magnitude against that calibre opposition, I thought he did well. But I think it's a stronger front three if we can get Abada back in it, get Jota on the left-hand side, which is possibly more natural for him. But having said that, we've seen one game on the left-hand side, one game on the right wing now, and I thought he played better on the right-hand side. It'd be interesting to see how that develops over the season here, whether he's going to be stronger from the left or the right, because as I say, I thought he was really effective at times the other night. Up top, I expect it to still be Albion Ayeti. With a run of games, I'm sure he'll get better. As I say, got a goal the other night, in the right place at the right time. Managed to bundle it in. I think that'll do his confidence the world of good to score in consecutive games, and if he starts tomorrow, it'll be 3 starts in a row for him. So hopefully he can just build on that, get another goal under his belt tomorrow, get another good performance, because if Kyogo is going to be out the rest of this month, we don't know where Giakoumakis is at, whether he's injured or whether he's recovering from COVID, who knows. But he's not available, and until he's available, we've really got to rely on Ayeti to put in good performances and really carry the team in terms of the strike force. That's the team I think the manager will go with tomorrow. Like this video, comment with your own thoughts below. Who do you think will start? Do you think Juranovic will keep his place at left back? And in midfield, if McGregor isn't fit, do you go with Sorrow because it's a plastic pitch, and given McCarthy's injury record, it could be a risk to play him? And do you think Abada will come back in and play on the right-hand side? Or would you persist? Would you keep Adam Montgomery in after his good performance on Thursday? Let us know in the comments box below. As I say, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you tomorrow for all of the match day content from this season's first away day. Cheers.